The next topic is non-cooperation movement slow down. So now we are going to learn about why non-cooperation movement slow down. So as we have learned, Gandhi ji unfold non-cooperation movement into several stages or parts or phase. So in that we have learned Gandhi ji asked teachers, students, right, to boycott school, college and universities. Similarly, lawyers also gave up or boycott practicing in the court. Then we have seen in stage 2 Gandhi ji requested the people to use only khadi or swadesi. But the problem arises. Congress and our political leaders, they failed to find the alternatives for this. So a simple question arises, till what extent students can boycott school? To what extent teachers or headmasters, or whom we call it as principal, can boycott school? So when our leaders could not find alternative for the British school, finally, unwillingly, students, teachers and headmasters returned back to school. Similarly, talking about lawyers, they could not have any other job. So they also returned back and started practicing their. Third one, as we know, Gandhi urged people to use khadi and Gandhiji got great support. But we all are aware that khadi is fine material of very good quality but very costly. So using khadi is not the cup of tea for everyone. And even if they try out, they cannot sustain for a long period. So that is somewhere slowly people started reusing machine made goods which used to come from England. So these factors finally slow down the momentum at which non-cooperation movement was going. Now we will learn about how non-cooperation movement spread in the countrysides. Under that, first we will learn about Awadh Kisan Sabha. So this is the first one, right? Awadh is a place in Uttar Pradesh. So what was the problem with the people of Awadh? So this movement was generally initiated or started by Baba Ramchandra. Baba Ramchandra was a sannyasi and indentured laborer in Fiji. Indentured laborer means when Britishers were ruling, they used to take Indian people to work in plantation or in mine to the different part of our country or different part of the world. on contract basis for say contract of 3 years or contract of 5 years. So this was known as indentured labor. So he was also taken to Fiji as a laborer for 3 to 5 years. The fixed tenure is not given. Once he completed that, when he returned back, he left all the materialistic things of the world and become a sannyasi. Later on, when he came to know about the problem of the farmers or the peasants of Awadh, he thought of leading the problem. The peasants of Awadh, they were victim of talukdars and landlords. These talukdars, they were charging high rent from them and they were asking the peasant to do begar. Begar means either the person is not paid at all or person is paid very less, a very nominal price. So in both the case, it was not in the favor of the peasants. Therefore, they wanted that these systems or the exploitation should come to an end. So that's why these farmers, under the guidance and the leadership of Baba Ramchandra, they began to fight against it. In this, even they got the support of barbers, whom we call it as Nai, Dhobi, whom we call it as washermen. They also supported them. How they supported them? They organized Bandh. Bandh means strike. Okay, we are not going to wash the clothes of these landlords and talukdars, and barbers will not shave their beard and cut their hairs. In this way, they supported this movement. Later on, when Jawaharlal Nehru came to know about the problems of Awadh peasants, he personally took the round of the village, interacted with the farmers, and he came to know about the problems of the farmers. And finally, Baba Ramchandra and Jawaharlal Nehru together, they formed an association called Awadh Kisan Sabha. Now this Sabha got such a popularity that within a month, more than 300 sub branches were opened in the nearby areas. That was the impact of this Sabha. Then, when the non-cooperation movement began, right? So, during that time, the Congress wanted to involve the problem of peasant in non-cooperation movement, but as it will go against the large landlords or talukdar, Congress did not involve. And finally, the people, these poor peasant, they attacked on talukdars, merchants, on their houses. The bazaars were looted and grains were, the hoarded grains were looted by the people. And in this whole incident, they involved the name of Mahatma Gandhi. Okay, we have done all these things, that is attacking on the talukdas, merchant on their house, right? Looting the bazars. All these things we have done under the guidance of Mahatma Gandhi. Actually, we all are aware, Gandhiji never believed in such steps. So, they took the name, actually Gandhiji did not guided them. We move to the second topic, Gudam Hill Revolt. So, this is an incident which is related to the tribal community, Gudam, an area in Andhra Pradesh. We all have learned about various tribal community in India, but something where we can relate some commonness among is they used to practice shifting cultivation, hunting, grazing, collecting firewood. This is how their livelihood used to move on, or these were the source of income for them. But once, when the forest law was introduced in India, all these things were denied to the tribal community, and most of them were thrown out of the forest. Or those who were allowed to live in the forest, they have to work for British. Okay, whenever they require woods, they have to cut for them and transport that to the area where the British government asked. And in return, they were paid some money. In this condition, they were allowed to live in the forest. So, when this injustice was done to them, finally the tribal community of Gudam, they thought to fight for their traditional rights, for their livelihood. When the forest was not under the government, they were free. They had a very good time. But now they have become the slave, dying due to shortage of food. They are starving. So they started their revolt in the form of militant guerrilla war. Now, militant guerrilla war means what? This is a type of a skill or a technique used by the tribal community. This technique they have learned or developed from the monkey known as gorilla. Now, the special about gorilla is gorilla attack on its enemy suddenly, so the enemy does not get the chance to protect itself. And this technique was used by Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj also against the Mughals, especially during the Aurangzeb time. And it was really quite fruitful and one of the best technique of that time. So finally the revolt began during 1920s. And as I discussed, what was the reason behind this? Their traditional rights were denied to them. They cannot graze, they cannot hunt, they cannot collect firewood, and finally their livelihood was affected, as I discussed with you. Along with that, they were forced to do begar. Already I discussed what begar means. Either the person is not paid or is paid very less. So finally, to rescue them or to support them or to lead the movement, the person who came was known as Alluri Sitaram Raju. Now, who was this person? So, Alluri Sitaram Raju, he claimed that he had super powers like Spider-Man, powers like Superman. So such natural power he was having, that's what he claimed. So what he said, he can forecast future. He can heal the wounds of the people. कि अगर लोगों को चोट लगी है तो उसे वो ठीक कर सकता है, भविष्यवाणी कर सकता है और उसको गोली का असर नहीं होगा. He can bear the shots of bullets. So when he claimed all these things, people started worshipping him as a god. People consider him as incarnation of God. Alluri Sitaram Raju, he was also, we can say, a great fan or the follower of Mahatma Gandhi. He believed in the principles and ideologies of Mahatma Gandhi. So he asked his people to give up drinking, gambling, and use khadi clothes. But somewhere even Alluri Sitaram Raju was also quite clear that this satyagraha alone cannot give freedom to them. So that's why he led the movement, and finally they started attacking on the British officials, and to great extent for a short period they got success also. But later on in the year 1924, right, he was captured and but for his bravery, for his work, he became the folk hero, hero for his community and an inspirational source for the coming generation. The third one is Swaraj in plantation. So here we are going to discuss about the tea plantation that was carried out at that time in Assam. So people from different part of our country, they were taken to Assam to work in the plantation. Now, how these people revolted against this? So when Gandhiji called for Swaraj during the non-cooperation movement, these people, they had their own notion, their own meaning of Swaraj. Now what was Swaraj for them? For them Swaraj means that they can roam very freely in the area where they are working. And even when they wish, they can go outside the working area in the market, right, for leisure or for purchasing anything. And plus, when they wish, they can go to their native place, the area from where they have come from. So, in the year 1859, British government passed an act which was known as Inland Immigration Act 1859. According to this law, the workers who are working in the plantation, they were not allowed to move in freely in the working area. Means if a position, if a working area is given to you, suppose say you are supposed to work in this area, that is the left hand side, this, right? So you have to work here only. You cannot take a break and move to your friend here in the right hand side. Or you cannot chat or interact with your friends. It means strict supervision was done or strictly they were instructed that wherever you are working, you are supposed to be there only. And side by side, they were not allowed to go to their native place without permission. They said that with permission you can go, but that was just for show off. Hardly they were allowed to return to their native place. So, when these people they came to know about the non-cooperation movement which was started by Mahatma Gandhi, somehow they revolted against the authorities, they defied the authorities, and they started moving towards their native place. With a hope that when they will return back to their native, they will be provided with the land and they will carry out farming, and finally they did not return back to do such labor work. This is what they thought they will get from Gandhi Raj, which was going to come in the form of non-cooperation movement. But unfortunately, these people who were supposed to reach to their native either by ship, traveling by waterways, or by train, unfortunately in both the means of transport, that is in ship also and in railways also, there was strike. And finally, they could not reach to their destination. And when police caught them, they were brutally beaten by them. A lesson for every worker. Don't you dare to go against authority. That badly they were beaten by the police.